All right, next segment. Happy New Year. It's New Year's Eve today, my Sunday. It's cold, hence I'm wearing a little bit of jeans and a nice little FootJoy hoodie, little Christmas present. Appreciate it. Very comfy. I'm going to talk today about the joints that move now in the more lower body and how the body supports. Okay, so it blows my mind how this is the only sport. You can think about this and discredit me, and I think there's a lot of teachers that are way wrong. I have no problem saying that because of how I've studied and whatnot. There's not one sport that I've ever seen where they go, okay, I am going to now move my body to move the object. Pool, you got a cue, darts, etc. Literally, there's not a sport, right? Bodybuilding, you still got to move. You're like, okay, let me move my muscle. You're okay, move muscle, move, move, move. No, what are you doing? You're moving your hand to do a bicep curl, or a dip, or a press, right? Or a pull, right? There's not anything that this dumb thing right here does other than support. This generates the correct hand and arm action, body supports. Okay, so enough of that. So I can be on a soapbox for a long time about that. So here's how your spine is, all right? Well, it's actually curved, but we don't get into all that. So this is what most people will tell you to do, is to try to resist from the hips and turn the shoulder. And you'll see that I still have, so that makes my head move off the ball, and now my spine is like this. Okay, and then that's how they want you to get behind the ball, right? So anytime at all that this leg, you ready for this? Anytime this leg keeps the same flex in it, then you will be restricted in this hip, and the head will have to move off the ball to support. The way that your hips and legs work is like walking, with a little bit of internal rotation with the knees, and you'll see that my head does not move. Shocker. And so at the top of the golf swing, as the golf club swings back with the hands, this leg will be straight. That's how the head stays on center. So anybody who tells you to keep your leg bent, you will have to move off the ball. Doesn't mean that you can't be a good player. You now have to just somehow make a now compensating move. Okay, we've talked about the compensating moves. You can still be a good player, a great player with crap mechanics. Back, but get back into this position, right? So make no mistake about it. The head stays still. They're never going to be a machine though. The ball's never going to go just dead straight every time, like just dead straight, right? Because this happens when this swings back, this straightens. Now, that does not mean straighten your leg, right? It doesn't, right? You don't have to slam the ground. Even I was experimenting with playing with ankles and how they roll and all that kind of stuff. But yet I can hit a golf ball dead straight 300 yards with my heel up in the air. So does that mean my ankle has to rotate? No, it does not. Right? Ernest Jones, who had it right with physics and things, had his leg blown off in the war. I believe it was his left leg was blown off in the war. So he had to stand on his right leg only and swing. So now, go up here to the top of your swing and bend your knee. It doesn't make no sense. This leg has to straighten. That's what keeps your head here. That's what helps to keep your head on center, right? So when you swing back, this leg straightens here. Then as you swing through, here comes the arms going to the target. Now the left leg will straighten and the hip and the pelvis goes backward. That does not mean I want you to take the hip and pelvis go backward, because then your golf club goes flopping everywhere, right? So quit being dumb about this, right? So once you go here, the arm goes to the target. And when the arm goes to the target, your pelvis and your knees and your hips and your body move with it, right? So if you get to the top of the golf swing here and you try to turn and spin, you're now gonna have to flip and make compensating moving parts. all right? So the part of this and how the body actually moves is like a walking motion, like this, okay? But I don't really want you to focus on a walking motion. I have done that before with students because they've never moved their legs, but doing this doesn't move this correctly. This moving correctly makes this work. Everybody's got it kind of backwards. Now, there have been some players that have pretty good hand action, but yet have been told to keep their leg bent. So then I'll get those people and I'll teach them how to kind of make a walk-in motion, right? Women live longer, about 7 years longer, many reasons, but one is because when they walk with full support from side to side, like that, right? Where most guys will stumble and walk like that, right? So when you do this, you're putting all your weight on that right leg. So you tell me, like, is this weight transfer? All right, so when my arm swings over here, my weight's over here. And when my arm swings this way, my weight's over here. Now, all right, so get it into chin, xiphoid process, middle of your chest here, chin. When you swing back, the chin will rotate and stay in line with the xiphoid process, okay? Your swing circle center is the seventh cervical of your spine, which is that little hump on the back of your neck. And so now to do that and to have it rotate, my leg has to straighten. If I go over here, my leg has to bend. I no longer have a wheel. Hope that makes sense, right? Now, there are too many pressure shifts that happen in the golf swing. I don't want you to have to think about, but I want to explain it for those that really want the detail. There is in physics an equal and opposite force reaction, right? So anything that goes this way, the very first part of a golf swing is just, and I mean, I have to be so careful when I say this, because even like Dr. Kwan and some others that talk about triggers, and you know, you've got long drive guys with big moves this way to then move the golf club with more speed this way, because they're trying to tap out all the ends that they can do. They're not good golfers, you know, because they're only trying to hit one ball in the fairway, and so they can go up and down and try to create as much speed and force as possible. Again, not a circle, right? So the first move in a golf swing is actually towards the target, and it should happen so infinitesimally you can't even see it. So you'll see that little bit right there. You can't even hardly see it. So there's a golf bag behind me. Strixon, I'm on their staff. Thank you, Strixon. So you can see how there's like a little towel there. That's really it, right? And then once that happens, then I'm not thinking about shifting back, because then that moves my whole center. All I'm doing is moving my hands. Now, you watch this. You watch the towel behind me. I put it there for a reason today, okay? Somehow I got it right. So golf club in the center. You'll see that there's a little trigger, and I kind of feel it with a little bit of my knee, and I do it now so imperceptibly I don't even think about it, right? And then as soon as I start to move my hands back, you'll see that you'll see the towel go away, okay? So there's one shift this way, whole pressure shift, then immediately, if you notice, over here, that's the second shift, and there's a universal rule. Wherever the club goes is where your weight goes. So this will start to become an aha moment for most people. If I take the golf club out here, way out, now my weight is on my toes. If you're told to turn your body, stupidly, then your weight will, and where's the arm go? Behind me. So where's my weight? Back here, right? So if I take the golf club back wide, right? Locking this joint, this joint, this joint, not moving it with the body, because the body doesn't move the golf club, okay? So then now you can see how my weight is over here. Now, as the golf club goes this way, my weight went that way. So the wider that you go this way, the more your head will move off the ball. And as the club starts to tip this way, the head goes this way, right? So for instance, I watched a Foley video. I watched all the videos. I've read all the books. So I know, kind of what people teach. And all those kinds of things, and there's kernels to truth to this. So if you take the club back, like say Dr. Kwan would say, take it back wide, you know, here, and then there's a recentering, and the reason why there's a recentering is because you're wide, right? So when I shift here, as the golf club goes this way, I'm going to go real slow here. So right here, my weight is centered because the golf club shaft is pointing now straight up on that circle, okay? As soon as the shaft goes this way, there is a shift that goes this way. So, one shift this way, 2, 3, as the golf club starts to go this way. You imperceptibly are now shifting this way. That's also what makes the pelvis start to move the 6 inches this way to counterbalance. Anytime the golf club goes certain ways, your body will counterbalance, right? So as this golf club is going this way on the 3rd shift, now the arm starts to swing, right? And now the shaft is going this way. So where does my shift go? That way. But my pelvis has to go this way to counterbalance. Otherwise, if it didn't go this way, then what would happen? I would not counterbalance and I'd fall over. Okay? So the reason, so when people get to the top of the golf swing, wide takeaway and go here and they say, okay, I need you to bump your hip. They're trying to bump the hip this way while the golf club is still up here. That doesn't make, why? Doesn't make any sense. So now your whole center out is out in front. Now you have to stand up. Now your body has to counterbalance and you, what they call goat humping, etc., extension. And that's where it comes from. Okay? So, hand is here. I'm just tired of the stupidity, right? All these so-called top instructors and top YouTube instructors. Jesus, get a clue. All right, look. When it comes up here and the golf club is going this way, my weight is recentering this way. So now as my arm is going this way, you can see my body is now over here. This is the 4th shift. So now as the golf club starts to come into this way, now the knee, the pelvis, and the ankle joint all move together. And my pressure is on my right foot more if I'm hitting up like a driver. If my arm is being thrown up, can you see how my pressure is still here? If I throw it more middle level, then the pressure starts to get more over here, right? And then lower, even more so. Again, now the shaft is over here. So where would be my weight? Over here on the left side, right? See? All right. So when you throw a ball, your arm is here. Your weight is on your left side, right? You like Jack Nicklaus, great player, you know, great players like that. What they would do is they would have a rock and block, right? Well, they come here, right? Well, as soon as the golf club goes this way, now you have to shift. Well, how do you stop the body from falling? Well, most people would have their pelvis go this way. He didn't. His leg moved. So when his leg moved, he kind of had the rock block. Right? That's where it came from. It comes from this thing. So if the golf club is going this way, the weight's this way. The golf club goes this way, the weight's that way. Right? So that means if you get up here, right, and you turn your body, the golf club is being thrown out here, out over the top, right? And I even have stupid instructors sit there and tell you, okay, if you're going on the top, you got to go way inside. So let's drop your elbow and your arm for a compensating move. Jesus, right? So you get up here to the top, and the arm starts to go to the target. And when the arm goes to the target, hey, look, wrist cock is recocked, boom, is retained, right? And there's the angle going through, right? So here, I'm on plane, yay, right? Why? Oh, wait a minute. Hey, my right leg? Oh, my right leg's straight. I gotta be wrong, right? So, now I'm bent. Now that's better. Now let me get my head and have width. Jesus, all right. I think you guys get the idea of this, right? Now, you'll never see me waggle. It's amateurish. And it's trying to sit there and put the golf club in the right spot. If you said throw me a ball, I would just do this and throw a ball. I wouldn't go, wait a minute, let me waggle it back and forth, back, and make sure I'm doing it just right, and look at it, and then extend my arm, right? Oh, wait a minute, turn my body, right? No. So the hand winds up and the arm to the target. When my hand winds up, my body has to support. When the body supports, that means that the chin is rotating naturally with the xiphoid process, right leg straightens, elbows at 90 if not further, wider, right? Not tucked into the body. Stop doing this, can't throw a ball 50 feet, right? Look, dude, I'm trying to tell you, 51, almost 52 years old, right? Hit it 340. Why? Because my body is moving correctly, supporting the hand, wrist, and forearm, right? And one other little thing. There is no such thing as a core exercise for golf, right? You get stronger. If you get stronger, you have full range of motion, right? Not just bicep curls, etc., right? Whole body gets strong. Not just sitting there bouncing on a stability ball, or I see these people with the bands or the work, right? Or take a medicine ball and toss it, right? That works your transverse and all that. No, they just get stronger, right? And keep your flexibility, because then you can throw it further, right? So if I go up here and I'm wound up to here, hey, look, guess what? I'm not bouncing around on a stability ball or bending bands, right? None of that stuff, right? So when I'm here and my arm goes to the target, my body is going to counterbalance and respond. The stronger your body is, the further you can throw it. The more efficient you'll be able to throw it, right? So when you get here, the arm goes to the target. You can now pay attention to the shift. I'm going real slow. So where's my pressure shift? It's over here, and my pelvis has to go this way. This magic 6 inches they're all trying to teach, right? There's a reason for it, counterbalance. So then as your arm swings through, now all your weight is on your left leg. There you go. I hope that helps. Maybe I was a little bit rough today, sorry. I've just had a lot of, and by the way, I've also had some wonderful emails, people asking me questions. They're, you know, I was not evolved as much as I am now because, well, hell, I was younger and I didn't know as much, right? So I was on cruise ships for 10 years. So if you look up Roger King Golf Pro, there's a kernel of truth there. But, you know, even when I worked with the late Harvey Penick and those kinds of guys, you know, wonderful instructors in their own right, but they still didn't have this. They didn't have this right? And you can go up and down on YouTube if you want to. You ain't got nobody talking like this and telling you the truth, right? So they're all kind of go here, get to the top, drive your foot in your knee, pull the club down, and rotate, right? Doesn't mean that you can't be a good player that way and time it and all of that, but usually those are people that have better hand-eye coordination or are better athletes. They can get away with moving as inefficiently as that is compared to just one natural motion, right? Doesn't this make sense compared to here, 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 and here, right? So when you see that, and you can go and you can look at the old videos of me, you'll kind of see those the wider takeaway. You'll see the recentering. You'll see that I kind of had to evolve as a teacher this way, because once I started studying human movement and not just you know, respouting the Bible that other people have learned through all the golf books and golf videos and all that. Now you got the truth, okay? So each week you get the truth of the golf swing. Do with it what you will. Come see me at Country Hills for individual golf lessons. Nothing takes place of golf lessons. I do not have a website yet. I will probably be doing that at some point. I've had some people say, hey, can you look at my golf swing? I will look at your golf swing. I will give you tips and drills and tell you what I see, what you're doing, where you're messing up, and all that for a nominal fee, and you can Venmo. All right. Everybody have a great new year. Look forward to helping you. I hope this helps somewhere down the road. All right. take care.